So what we've got a piece of branch wood, just a piece of branch wood there. What I've done is I've got everything on manual focus, so I might have to refocus again. But with that piece of branch wood, what I want to do to start with is just find myself the centre of that. Easiest way to do it, I'm just going to grab a centre finder. These you find in the bargain bucket at the likes of Harrogate and what have you. And we'll just go around there with the 60 degree there, the 60 degree there, and that's the 90 degree there. So there we go. So there we are, there's the centre there, we'll see at that point there. And again, good old brad awl, stick a hole in it with the brad awl like that. And there we've got one there, and one there. And then one there. Let's have a look. There we go, it's a different position there. So we'll just pop that onto there, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play around with this log and I'm going to turn a base for a glass. We've got a few glasses where we've brought the stems off them, but the nice glasses will be able to get a nice, you could have a natural edge, one would be a bit big actually. So that's big enough to be able to do that, so I'll pop this. So there we are, that's the between centres there. And I'm using the Hawk and the Falcon drives. It's the revolving tailstock with the multi-point in, and then the actual drive I've got straight into the chuck, which is how I like to do it. I set the actual tool rest about 6mm, quarter of an inch below the quill, and as close as I can to the material as I can get it. There we are. The bark is secure on there, but having said that, I'm going to pop a face shield on in any case to protect my eyes. I'm up to about 1600 there, so thumb on here, fingers underneath, locked into my side, and we shall start. I'll show you from above to start with, just to take that off there. And I'm just going to tidy this up, get it into a cylinder like that. High point off in the middle, like that. I'm just gliding from one side to the other, working with the wood from one side to the other. And there we go. We'll have a look at that. Should be somewhere near now. And then, yeah, it's nice and clean. Piece of sycamore. Oh, I can lift that tool rest up a little bit there. Catch that. So, where's the original base? There's the original base there. So what I'll do is I'll take a set of bore calipers. And throw that up a bit there. Careful you don't touch the jaws of the chuck. Try that. There we are. Same on the other end. Tidy it up from this side. Then I'll take it down to size. Get there. Bore calipers. Take that down. So thumb onto there, fingers onto there, glide across, and just quickly remove that. So see, it's sycamore. This is lovely to turn this sycamore. Right, I'm just going to throw that up. Yeah, that's nice and clean. So I'll just take that down to fit into the optimum circle on there. Back to my 3/8 beading parting tool. And that's about my optimum circle there. Just lean into there, plane that like that. Use the wing of the towel if I want. It's nice and clean. Now, I'm going to make life easy for myself. I've got a swivel head, so I might as well swivel it so I can get at it easier. And then I'm not having to take the tailstock off. So we'll loosen that off and we'll just swivel that round to there, to its first notch. So there, 10mm, 3/8 of an inch. And then I'll just take the parting tool. I know that that's locked down, just making sure. And then in there, check that. 10mm, 3/8 of an inch, have a look. A little bit bigger. Just crisp that up into there, just there now. That's okay. I'll use my little spindle gouge for this. Spindle gouge. And what I'm going to do is just undercut that, pick the cut up on there, just undercut that into there. We'll just keep it plain. And then there's nothing can harbour in the bottom of it. There we are. Make sure that's that nice and secure in there. That's him. And then what we want to do is have a look at the glass and see. I want to go in a fair bit, but I want a nice curve in there. It's just a matter of playing around with it really. So size of the hole, I think it wants to be around about the 10mm size as well, 3/8 of an inch. Let the speed get up. And just enjoy using the tool. And what I'll do, I'll just put with the parting tool or the skewer, I'll just put like a recess into there, which will give us a lead in for the drill. Turn the speed down to less than 500. There we are, 492, and then I'm just going to wind into there. Bring that out. Again, grab your brush, just swipe it out with your brush. Onto there, that's the travel I've got. Bring it back, but don't eject it on the quick release. Take it back just as far as the quick release is. There we go. And then into there. Now I'm just going to take it down to the depth of the actual stem there, and that should be long enough to be able to get that. Pop that into there. Now yeah, I reckon that will, with some epoxy, will go nicely into there. And then back to spindle roughing gouge on here, thin on thumb on there, fingers onto here, and I'll just use the spindle roughing gouge just to get the thick of it off. You could use a skewer if you wanted to. Take that down, or you can use your ball gouge, whatever you like. Let's try the ball gouge on there. Now, if you're new to turning, always stop the material before you move the tool rest. Now, what we can do, turn that into a little bead. Use the wing of the tool just to bring that round and have a look at that. Let's have a look at that, see what that looks like. Put a bead in there and put a bit of colour in it. Let's try that. Right, I'm going to put a bit of colour in there first. So there we are, I've got some Chestnut Products rainbow wax here. I've been using it, it's quite nice this. So we'll put a bit of green into there. Try and isolate it on there. You can put a pair of gloves on if you want to. Might have been a good idea. Or even you could apply it with a brush if you want. There we are. There. Till there's no grain coming off, no more residue. So there we are. Little grain ring. Now still a flat on there, I'm not keen on that. I'm just going to see, you can always change the shape, you know, if you don't like it, change it. It needs to be more of a flowing curve down there to that. You still need a bit of bulk on it. Flowing curve down there, that's better. That's a nicer shape altogether. I much prefer that. There we are. That's the extractor there. It's a camvac extractor, this one. And I'm going to start off with the 80. Set it away. We turn the speed down a little bit now. Few bits of shavings just to burnish it a bit. Let's have a look at this. This should look alright. This, take it out of the jaws of the chuck, because that was the nice optimum size. There. A little stem like that. There we go. Stem like that. Wine glass. I'll glue that in with some 2-pack epoxy, Araldite it is. So what I'll probably do with that as well is I'll just hand drill another drill into there. In fact, 10mm drill to go into there. Drill a bit more into there like that, and then when that goes in, that thinner point there, which is less than 10mm, can you see it just sits in there, so that if I go like that, it's nice and it's a tight fit. And there we are. Bit of polish on that, and there you've got a new base for the glass that was destined for the recycling bin, but it's still alright now. It'll probably be nice that when it's all polished up. A nice little green ring on the bottom there with the rainbow wax, because Janet likes green. So there we go, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.